President Obama's presentation of the Presidential Medal of Freedom serves not only as a ceremonial moment, but also as a deep reflection on what the honor truly represents and why it carries such significance in the American story. He often underscores that the Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor, given not to people who simply achieve fame or fortune, but to those whose contributions reach far beyond themselves and whose legacies shape the world in ways that endure long after their careers or lifetimes. When Obama speaks about the recipients, he frames them as examples of what citizens can aspire to, regardless of background, nationality, or profession. Through their work, they remind the nation that courage, compassion, hard work, and imagination are the true drivers of progress. In describing their achievements, Obama emphasizes that greatness is not a product of privilege, nor is it confined to specific fields like politics or science. It springs from a willingness to devote one's talents to lifting others, expanding opportunity, and pushing the boundaries of what is possible. In expanding on this point, Obama often describes the Medal of Freedom recipients as people who lived lives of purpose. They are individuals who, through persistence and integrity, changed the fabric of society. Whether they broke barriers in sports, elevated culture through music or art, risked their lives for justice, or devoted decades to scientific discovery, they share a commitment to serving something greater than themselves. Obama frequently highlights that many of these honorees came from humble beginnings. Some grew up in poverty, some faced discrimination, some were told their dreams were unrealistic or impossible, yet they persisted anyway. Their stories embody what Obama calls the American spirit, a willingness to work hard, overcome obstacles, and give back. He uses their journeys to demonstrate that America's strength lies in the diversity of its people and the variety of paths that lead to greatness. Obama also points out that the Medal of Freedom ceremonies are opportunities to pause and reflect on the nation's history. Each honoree represents a chapter in that history. The civil rights leaders who receive the medal remind Americans of the moral courage required to confront injustice. Innovators and scientists represent the curiosity and intellect that propel the country forward. Artists, actors, writers, and musicians represent the power of storytelling to shape cultural identity and bring people together. Athletes symbolize discipline, excellence, and the ability to inspire through physical mastery. Even public servants and diplomats represent the nation's place in the world and the ongoing responsibility to lead with principle and wisdom. By honoring such a wide array of fields, Obama reinforces the idea that progress is not made by any single type of person. It is made by all kinds of people working in all kinds of ways. A key aspect of Obama's message is that the contributions of these individuals are often larger than they realize. He frequently shares anecdotes about how the honorees influenced him personally, or how millions of Americans have been touched by their work without ever meeting them. A teacher may change the life of a student who goes on to change the world. A scientist may develop a breakthrough that saves countless lives. An artist may create a song or story that inspires someone to pursue their dreams. A civil rights activist may give courage to the next generation of leaders. Obama emphasizes that the impact of such contributions cannot always be measured in the moment. It unfolds across time, shaping society in ways that are sometimes subtle but deeply profound. He uses this point to argue that every individual, regardless of their role, has the potential to create positive change. The Medal of Freedom recipients simply exemplify what that potential looks like when fully realized. Another theme Obama stresses is humility. Despite their accomplishments, many honorees do not see themselves as extraordinary. They see themselves as people who simply did the work that needed to be done. Obama often shares moments of humor or modesty from the recipients, stories of how they downplayed their achievements or avoided the spotlight. This humility, he suggests, is a defining trait of true greatness. It reflects an understanding that their work was never about recognition or awards, it was about making life better for others. Obama admires this quality because it mirrors his own belief that leadership is about service, not ego. The ceremony becomes a reminder that the Medal of Freedom is not awarded for personal glory, but for the contributions a person makes to humanity. Obama's speeches during these ceremonies also highlight the interconnectedness of the honoree's work. A musician might influence social movements. A scientist might inspire new generations of students. A civil rights leader might change laws that allow artists, scientists, and athletes to thrive in ways they couldn't before. In this way, the recipient's contributions form a web of progress that stretches across decades and across disciplines. Their achievements are not isolated acts but part of a larger, ongoing narrative about the evolution of American society. Obama uses this interconnectedness to emphasize that progress requires collaboration, empathy, and a shared sense of purpose. Additionally, Obama uses the Medal of Freedom ceremonies to challenge Americans to think about what they value. By celebrating individuals who devoted their lives to service, creativity, and justice, he implicitly encourages the nation to prioritize these values in its own culture. He contrasts the honoree's achievements with the more superficial forms of celebrity that often dominate society. In doing so, he elevates the idea that success should not be measured by wealth or status, but by contribution and impact. This message becomes especially powerful in a world that increasingly rewards short-term attention rather than long-term dedication. Obama's reflections remind people that the individuals who truly shape history are often those who remain focused on their mission, even when the world is not watching. Obama also emphasizes that the Medal of Freedom recipients are role models, not just for Americans, but for people around the world. Their lives demonstrate that barriers can be broken, injustice can be challenged, and innovation can change lives. For young people, especially those who struggle with self-doubt or come from disadvantaged backgrounds, these stories provide hope and motivation. Obama often speaks directly to the next generation, encouraging them to learn from the honoree's perseverance. He reminds them that great achievements do not come quickly or easily. They come through years of discipline, failure, resilience, and unwavering belief in a purpose. Another important element of Obama's message is the role of collective memory. By awarding the Medal of Freedom, the nation ensures that the stories of these individuals are preserved. Obama sees this as essential because societies depend on remembering their heroes, not as perfect figures, but as real people who faced real challenges and still made a difference. These stories become part of the national identity, shaping how Americans understand their past and how they imagine their future. Obama often notes that the Medal of Freedom does not just honor the recipient, it honors the idea that individuals can shape history. The ceremony becomes a symbolic act of giving future generations anchors of inspiration. Obama's reflections also include an awareness of global influence. Many recipients are not only American icons, but global ones. Their contributions affect people around the world, whether through humanitarian work, scientific discoveries, artistic achievements, or diplomatic efforts. Obama uses this to highlight the interconnected world the United States is part of, and the responsibility it carries as a global leader. By honoring individuals who have uplifted humanity, the medal symbolizes the nation's commitment to universal values like freedom, equality, dignity, and creativity. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of Obama's message is the emotional resonance he brings to the ceremony. He often speaks with genuine admiration, sometimes even being visibly moved by the stories of those he is honoring. This emotional tone reinforces the sincerity behind the award. It shows that the Medal of Freedom is not just a government honor, but a deeply personal acknowledgement of human excellence. Obama's respect for the honorees underscores that their contributions are not only important to the country, but to him personally. reflecting how leadership can be shaped and inspired by the people who came before. In essence, Obama uses the Medal of Freedom ceremony to highlight a profound truth that the strength of a nation lies in the character of its people. The honorees are embodiments of what America strives to be: innovative, compassionate, courageous, creative, and just. Through their stories, Obama paints a picture of a society that values service over self, interest, generosity over greed, and purpose over personal gain. His focus on this theme transforms the ceremony into more than a moment of recognition. It becomes a lesson in citizenship and a celebration of the human spirit. President Obama's reflections during the Medal of Freedom ceremony extend far beyond the celebration of individual accomplishments. He uses the moment to emphasize the deeper meaning of public service, the power of community impact, and the profound ripple effect that one person's actions can have across generations. In speaking about the honorees, Obama highlights that their achievements, whether in civil rights, medicine, education, arts, sports, diplomacy, philanthropy, or scientific innovation, are not isolated victories. Instead, they represent the ways in which people can elevate society when they dedicate their skills and passions to something larger than themselves. This perspective turns the ceremony into a meditation on the nature of leadership, purpose, and the responsibility each individual carries to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. Obama frequently underscores that public service does not necessarily mean holding a government position or having an official title. Many of the honorees never served in public office, yet their lives demonstrate a powerful kind of civic responsibility. A musician who uses their platform to advocate for justice, an activist who risks their safety to stand up for human rights, a scientist who devotes decades to solving a medical challenge, or an educator who changes the trajectory of thousands of students. All of these people embody the spirit of service. Obama uses these examples to remind the nation that the most transformative contributions often come from individuals who work quietly, persistently, and without expectation of reward. Their influence may not always be visible in the moment, but over time it shapes communities, cultures, and entire generations. Another important theme Obama emphasizes is the idea that societal progress is built through collective action. No individual, regardless of their brilliance or determination, achieves lasting impact alone. Behind every honoree is a network of supporters, teachers, mentors, family members, colleagues, communities, who believed in them and gave them the space to succeed. Obama points out that this interdependence is a fundamental aspect of democracy and social progress. When people uplift one another, they strengthen the foundation upon which future generations can build. By recognizing the stories of Medal of Freedom recipients, he highlights how critical it is for society to continue nurturing environments where talent can flourish, especially for those who historically faced barriers or discrimination. This creates a ripple effect. One person's success inspires countless others, reinforcing the cycle of opportunity and advancement. Obama also uses the ceremony to underline the role of values in shaping a meaningful life. The honorees often represent principles such as courage, honesty, kindness, creativity, equality, perseverance, and humility. These values are not abstract concepts. They are lived out through the decisions people make, the sacrifices they endure, and the obstacles they overcome. Obama often reflects on how the honorees stood firm in moments of adversity. Some fought against entrenched injustice, some challenged societal norms, some pursued innovative ideas that others rejected or doubted. Their willingness to remain committed to their mission, even when it was difficult, serves as a powerful lesson for the nation. Obama suggests that the path to creating positive change is rarely smooth, but it is always worth pursuing if it aligns with one's values and contributes to the greater good. A key aspect of Obama's message is the transformative power of inspiration. He often highlights how the stories of Medal of Freedom recipients ignite ambition and hope in others, especially young people who are searching for direction or struggling with self-doubt. When a young person sees someone from their community or someone who shares their background achieve something extraordinary, it expands their sense of what is possible. It shows them that greatness is not reserved for the privileged or the exceptional. It is attainable through dedication, resilience, and a willingness to serve. Obama frequently points out that many honorees never aspired to fame or recognition. They simply followed their passion, stayed true to their principles, and kept pushing forward. Their authenticity and determination are what ultimately make them influential role models. Another layer of Obama's message focuses on the idea that the most meaningful contributions are often rooted in compassion and empathy. Many Medal of Freedom recipients devoted their lives to understanding the struggles of others and working to alleviate them. Whether through humanitarian efforts, advocacy for marginalized communities, or groundbreaking work in healthcare, these individuals act out of a belief that every person deserves dignity, fairness, and opportunity. Obama stresses that this sense of empathy is essential for a healthy society. It is what motivates people to fight for justice, support those in need, and create systems that uplift rather than divide. By celebrating compassionate leaders, Obama encourages the nation to prioritize empathy as a core value. At the ceremony, Obama also speaks about the importance of storytelling in preserving cultural identity and history. Many honorees are artists, writers, musicians, filmmakers, actors, whose work has shaped the nation's cultural landscape. Their stories, songs, and performances have not only entertained millions, but also sparked conversations, challenged assumptions, and helped people understand one another more deeply. Obama believes that art is a powerful form of public service because it has the ability to unite people, expand their perspectives, and give voice to experiences that might otherwise be overlooked. By honoring artists alongside scientists, activists, and public servants, Obama reinforces the idea that creativity is essential to societal growth and collective understanding. Furthermore, Obama uses the Medal of Freedom ceremony to highlight the long-term impact of dedication. Many honorees spent decades working toward their goals, often with little recognition during the early stages of their careers. Their stories demonstrate that meaningful contributions require patience, persistence, and a willingness to continue when progress feels slow or uncertain. Obama frequently observes that lasting change is rarely achieved through single, dramatic actions. It is the result of consistent effort over time. He uses this insight to encourage Americans to think about their own commitments and the ways in which they can contribute to their communities through steady, purposeful actions. Another central idea in Obama's message is that leadership comes in many forms. Some honorees led movements, some led scientific revolutions, some led cultural shifts, some led classrooms or communities. What unites them is not the scale of their influence, but the intent behind it. Leadership, Obama suggests, is defined by integrity, responsibility, and the desire to create a better world. By presenting the Medal of Freedom to individuals from so many different fields, he challenges Americans to broaden their understanding of what leadership looks like and to recognize the potential leader within themselves. A leader is not simply someone who directs others. It is someone who inspires, uplifts, and makes choices guided by purpose rather than personal gain. In many of his ceremonies, Obama also addresses the idea of legacy. He explains that the Medal of Freedom honors not only what the recipients achieved, but the long-term influence their lives will continue to have. A legacy is not built in a single moment. It is built through consistent actions, moral choices, and a deep commitment to one's values. Obama often invites people to reflect on what kind of legacy they wish to leave behind. He suggests that the most meaningful legacy is one that enriches the lives of others. This perspective elevates the recipients as examples of how everyday choices accumulate into something that can shape history. Obama also highlights the relationship between individual agency and collective progress. He believes that individuals have the power to ignite change, but that change becomes transformative when it inspires others to join in. Many Medal of Freedom recipients sparked movements or innovations that grew far beyond their own work. Obama uses this to reinforce the idea that society evolves through shared responsibility. When one person acts with courage or creativity, they create pathways for others to follow. This underscores the importance of taking initiative, even when the odds seem daunting. As Obama often notes, history is full of moments where one person's determination shifted the course of events. The ceremony also becomes an opportunity for Obama to remind Americans of the importance of gratitude. He expresses profound appreciation for the recipients' contributions, acknowledging that many of the freedoms, advancements, and cultural treasures the nation enjoys today exist because of the work of people like them. By expressing gratitude publicly, Obama models a form of leadership rooted in humility and respect. He encourages the nation to recognize those who came before, to honor their sacrifices, and to continue building upon their achievements with a sense of responsibility and pride. In reflecting on the honorees, Obama also touches on themes of unity and shared purpose. The recipients often come from vastly different backgrounds and represent a wide range of perspectives. Yet, their lives demonstrate that despite differences in identity, profession, or world, people can be united by their commitment to progress and justice. Obama emphasizes that this diversity is not a weakness but a strength. It is what allows society to innovate, adapt, and grow. By honoring individuals from different walks of life, the Medal of Freedom serves as a reminder that every person's contribution matters, and that collective progress depends on the inclusion of many voices. Ultimately, Obama uses the Medal of Freedom ceremony as a teaching moment for the nation. Through the stories of the honorees, he reveals the qualities that elevate individuals into symbols of hope and progress. He invites people to reflect on their own potential and to ask themselves how they can contribute to the world around them. The message is not that everyone must change history on a grand scale, but that everyone can make a meaningful difference in their own sphere of influence. Whether through acts of kindness, professional excellence, civic engagement, or creative expression, each person has the ability to shape their community in positive ways. Through this lens, the Medal of Freedom becomes not just an award but a call to action, a reminder that the pursuit of a better world is a shared responsibility, and that the legacy of progress depends on the choices individuals make every day.